the Pro Football Hall of Famer, whose speech at the Hall of Fame was just fantastic. And he is going to be the subject of this week's Football Life on NFL Network tomorrow night at 9 Eastern Time. The great, the one and only Megatron himself, Calvin Johnson, here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Calvin Johnson?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Rich? Thanks for having me.
Your speech was incredible in Canton. It was great.
Thank you very much. I can't watch it, but I did get good feedback.
What do you mean? Why won't you? You just don't want...
I hate hearing myself talk. I hate listening to myself talk.
So are you going to say you're not going to watch back this interview here on the Rich Eisen Show, Calvin? Like once it's done, it's done? Is that what you're saying?
Myself in a little predicament. Huh?
Have you watched your Football Life, though? Have you watched that yet?
I have not. I have the clip, but I have not watched it.
God, wow. What is that?
I'm going to watch it, though, because I have teammates on there, coaches on there. You know, I love to hear what they have. I love to hear what they have to say sometimes. It's pretty good.
Okay. Will you watch it, though, or you're just going to not at all? You'll see.
I'll watch it. I got to watch it. My wife will let me watch it. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to watch it, though. I really do, because I think the crew that put it together, I had a good experience with those guys, too. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing.
Nobody's better than NFL Films and NFL Network together, Calvin Johnson. I mean, this is great. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it. That is for sure. Let's talk a little bit of the here and now, and then we'll go back in the past if you don't mind. What was your experience like this week getting your Hall of Fame ring at the Lions-Ravens game, Calvin?
Awesome. I mean, it's better than I thought, just stepping out on that field, feeling the energy, like they go to my toes all the way up to my head, from the fans. They brought it. It was loud. And, I haven't been to many games. That's probably my second time back in that stadium since I retired. And that they brought the energy, the same energy that I felt when I played on Sundays. They brought it. So I was truly grateful to be up there. It's an honor to go back and be in front of the fans again.
When you said it went from your head to your toes, what do you mean by that? What do you mean?
Just the energy, the noise, just your hair raising, it's just that feeling just running through your veins, just that energy.
Okay, and
adrenaline. It's probably just adrenaline.
Well, I mean, what is it? That's it now. You got the bust, the jacket, and you got the last bauble. Now you got the ring, and you've got it all. You're officially in. What does that mean for you, Calvin Johnson? That you are enshrined and as a first ballot Hall of Famer and one of the youngest to ever be as such? How does that land on you right now, Calvin?
It's wild. I take it here. I just think about the guys that I looked up to that were in that room in the Rednitsky luncheon, and then the guys that I looked up to, who they looked up to that were in that same room. And there might have been even another generation, and just to see the levels of excellence and greatness and how it's just, passed on down, because we're always looking to the prior generation to just to emulate our game after those guys, to just to try to create our own stamp. And, just to be there, it's breathtaking. It was on. I'm a kid in a candy shop literally the whole weekend. I couldn't even say a word. I'm just looking around like, oh, shoot. That's such and such. That's such and such. Oh, that's such and such. And just having a conversation with my class, from Charles to Peyton to Coach Flores to even the 2020 class, even Drew P. Just great times. Good people, and just to represent excellence and all that the game stands for. Just be a part of that representation is a heck of an honor.
And now that you've got all that personal accolades and the ultimate personal accolade you could possibly get, first ballot Pro Football Hall of Famer, and you got the ring in front of the home fans. Are you cooler now or better standing with the Lions? You and the Lions closer together at all, or not at all, Calvin Johnson?
I mean, we came close on Sunday. As far as just getting back together, there's still some work to be done there. But hopefully that can happen. Hopefully it'll happen because the fans. You see the fans want it.
So, is that in reference to scratching a check, Calvin?
I didn't say that, but yeah, that's really what it takes to restore.
Well, I don't look, and just to linger just for a couple more minutes here, I still am scratching my head. So when you retired, and obviously it was sooner than the organization thought, did they just say, give us our money, give us some money back? I mean, like there wasn't even a conversation at all, or because so many other players retire early and their organizations just say, keep it. Thanks for the memories. They never did that with you?
No, I mean, they might have had conversations. I can't say what they had with my agent, but not me personally.
Okay. Is there a possibility of this relationship getting closer then, I guess, to
I'm not going to burn the bridge because, I think that, the team or the executives, they saw how much the fans enjoy, me being around the team. I enjoy being around the team. I still live in Detroit because, not only because of the love that Detroit gives me business opportunities too, but I love Detroit because of the people.
Calvin Johnson, Pro Football Hall of Famer, here on the Rich Eisen Show, Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line in advance of the football life on NFL Network, Friday night at 9 Eastern time. Best wide receiver in the NFL right now would be who, in your estimation?
I hate when you give me that question because I'll say I'm not up to speed on everything. I still watch football, but I'm not. I always forget something. I always forget like a guy to mention or something like that. The best wide receiver in football, man. Can I do some research?
You can get back to us. No, obviously there's.
I have guys that I love D-Hop. I'll tell you why I like D-Hop. He's been my favorite for a little while just because he uses the way he uses his hands. He runs good route. He seems like a hard worker. He uses his hands. He seems like a respectable human being. I respect stuff like that. People that carry themselves well, but at the same time go out there and handle their business on the field.
He wound up in the top 10 of the top 100 players as voted by his peers on the NFL Network. But the receiver who was ranked higher than him was Devontae Adams. He was viewed by his peers in terms of the voting of this as the best receiver in the game.
I always forget somebody. I saw Devontae from when he was a rookie in Green Bay, and to see his growth and maturity, I can't forget. I'd be a slight to forget about him too, because he's grown a lot to become, like I say, that top receiver in the league. So he's definitely got control of that number one spot over there in Green Bay.
Well, perhaps since you say you're not as day to day with watching the NFL or week to week watching the NFL, are you aware that they have changed the rule that if somebody catches a ball and puts the ball down on the ground to avoid going to the ground, that is now a catch? It is no longer an incomplete pass. Are you aware that the Calvin Johnson rule has been changed? Calvin Johnson?
Why? I feel like every year, they tweak it every year a little bit, So that is crazy, really.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous that your touchdown pass of back in the day was ruled incomplete because you put the ball on the ground to avoid going to the ground. Kind of makes a ridiculous concept.
Yeah, it's absurd. I remember that don't bring back bad feelings. That was the first game of the season. We were ready for that game, and that brings back all kind of bad news.
Well, then let's talk good stuff. Then, what do you think of the start of Matthew Stafford here in Los Angeles and what he has been able to do in just his first 3 games in a new spot? Calvin Johnson.
I'll tell you I tell everybody else, man. I got the opportunity, obviously, to play with Matt for so long. He has the biggest arm in the league. He'll put the ball on anybody, anywhere. It seems like he's still got it. And, so I watched the game, the first game of their season, and there's a moment in the game where they cut to Matthew after, some play. I don't remember what happened. It might have been a penalty or something like that. And you saw in Matthew's face almost like, it wouldn't happen like that in Detroit. Okay, I might have something here. You can almost sense that coming out of him. And just in that look, I know Matthew a little bit. I was like, oh, shoot, it wouldn't have went down like that in Detroit, So kudos to Matthew. He got a great team, great coach. And I look forward to, right now he's like, a lot of people's favorites to be in the Super Bowl.
So how difficult do you think it was for him? Because the reporting is, and I've spoken to him as well to confirm it, how difficult it was for him to go into the front office of the Lions and say, I want out, but I want to keep playing. How tough do you think that was for him, Calvin?
I could imagine, there's a lot of emotions tied to Detroit. Like I said, the people have a hold on you. He's lived up here his whole entire professional life, so I can understand how it could be tough. But at the same time, when the organization isn't building towards Super Bowl, you're maybe at the peak or going on the other side of your career, you're trying to get there. And Matthew still has the tools to get there, so he got to do what's best for him.
And you never thought about doing that yourself? You just wanted to stop playing, Calvin?
When I was done, I feel like I couldn't keep putting the same product on the field. So I knew that whenever that time came, that I'll be done. And I mean, even my agent tried to get me to come back, but it was he's like, well, what if they trade you here? But they weren't trading me anywhere, so I was stuck in Detroit.
Where would you have wanted to go? How about that?
Just and this is just just so everybody knows, this is just wishful thinking, But no, I mean, I played obviously I'm from Georgia, played my college ball there. It would have been cool to, take it full circle and just do, high school, college, and professional all in one town. That would have been cool.
Then go to the Falcons at that point in time. Matt Ryan,
mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
That would have been, that would have been awesome to play it all at home. That was just the best case scenario.
Oh, my guy from New England over there was ready to chime in my ear and say, dude, Patriots. Like,
I thought you wanted to play with Tom, Calvin.
I know. You know what? That's tough. Tom's great. There's nothing to argue there.
Yeah, he doesn't play in Georgia though. That's his point. Before I let you go, I want to give you some of the floor here, Calvin, about what you talked about in your Pro Football Hall of Fame speech. You're the founder of your own marijuana business called Primitive, and how you want to make sure that marijuana use, not just medically but holistically, is something that the league should allow and all of us in the world should understand is not something that should be frowned upon or made to be illegal. I'll give you the floor on that, Calvin.
Yeah, thank you. You just think about it, the way, people have healed for thousands and thousands of years before technology got into play with plant medicine in general. So, having these plants here and the technology that we have nowadays, there's no reason why we can't have the best. But, being a Schedule I drug, you can't research it. We have very little knowledge on cannabis right now. But there are research efforts by people like, Harvard Medical School, University of Penn, and so many others that are actually doing it nowadays. But for a lot of people, it's really just educating themselves. And I would say the first thing is, and that's what our company is about educating, removing the stigma from the plant and just educating people on the healing powers of the plant. And I say the first place to start for people is really just to do your research for yourself on the endocannabinoid system. We have this system within our bodies that accepts cannabinoids, but not a lot of people know about all the receptors that our body has for this. So it's literally like it's made for us. But we have to obviously use it in the proper way for it to have its healing properties. We're not a company just out here celebrating, adult use or like my buddy Rob and co-founder, we're not the company with the gorilla with the blunt in its mouth. No, we're about education, testing the plant. So, really just educating people. And I'll tell people to start there. Educate yourself on your endocannabinoid system and then go from there. Because I guarantee if you learn that your body has a system that you don't even know about, that you might want to look a little bit more into it.
So how did it help you recover after games and stuff like that?
For sure.
How did it help?
Sure. So my journey, I started in college because I grew up. My mom was my mom would probably slap me upside the head if I came home. Or she would do more than that. She'd body slam me if I came home smelling like cannabis. So it was just automatic no for me growing up.
Right. When
I got to college, became a little, I tried it. And, socially through college, but it was really when I got to the NFL where I really started to deal with the dings and the pain. And I was like, man, this is something that really helps me with my sleep. This is what helps, and in the effort, that helps me with my recovery. But it wasn't until after I retired and did the Dancing with the Stars show, when I was doing the show, my ankles were swelling up in the second or third week. And I couldn't get it back down. I did my ice and game ready and all those things. But I had a buddy from Georgia Tech, and he brought me a topical because I was about to quit the show. And he brought me this topical. He's like, try this out, And I started using the topical over the course of the week. I noticed that my swelling started to subside. And that was part of my reason when I was playing football. I had chronic swelling in my ankles. So I was like, man, I can't move because I got all this swelling. So I noticing that start to subside. I'm like, okay, there's other applications to these cannabinoids to the body. Okay, let's get down to the science of it. And really just timing, having the opportunity here in Michigan to be able to build a brand focused around education and cannabis and obviously make a business out of it. That's what we're doing now.
Were you ever concerned about testing positive for, substances in the NFL because it was viewed differently when you were playing? Was that ever a concern?
Oh, yes. But guys know the system. For the most part. And then you know what's so messed up about the system back then? Let me tell you. Do you know the significance of 420? Please tell you yes.
Say that again.
Do you know the significance of 420?
Yes, April the 20th is a terrific date on the calendar, Calvin.
So how about this? How about say shame on you? But how about this? So 420 was the first. April 20th was the first day of the testing. So between 420 and August 8th or 9th, that's the window where they test. So it was just evil upon the NFL, just saying. But it was evil for them to start it on 420.
Calvin Johnson, we need to talk more often. Again, your speech was tremendous. It was just terrific. I couldn't have been more happy for you and your family, and to see you now in the Hall of Fame and your bust, and it's just great. I mean, it was the greatest all-hair bust team in the history of busts, and and your bust was perfect too, man. So congratulations on all of that, the football life, and I know what I'm going to do after football life is I'm going to watch this interview back, because that's what I do professionally, is watch myself.
That's hilarious. Rich, man, it's been a long time. I think the last time I probably saw you was when I was up there when you and Stuart Scott were really doing y'all thing, man. So it's been a long time.
That is so
good to talk to you.
That is so cool you mention him, Calvin, because I think of him all the time, and what he would say about what goes on in sports and in the world, and what he would be thinking about everything that's going on in the NFL and obviously the NBA. And I appreciate. Oh gosh, last one for you. Did you give your shoes to somebody to run it at the combine, or did somebody give you shoes? What's that story, Calvin?
Oh, so you got the skinny from the somebody gave you a heads up from the NFL film?
No, I imagine that's going to be in tonight's football life, Friday's football life. What happened with those shoes? Did you?
So there was, I forget, the last quarterback that was running the 40. They were right before the receivers that day. And for some reason, he showed up to the most important job interview of his life without his cleats. So I gave him my cleats. He fortunately had a four-side fit team. He was literally the last person to run. I guess it was meant to be. So he ran, and everybody saw him giving me back my cleats right before it was time for me to go run. And then the dude that was marshaling everybody over there to run the 40, you probably know who he is. That's who you run it every year. He was yelling at me because I was last over there to the group. So everybody just saw that transaction happen there, and they said, "Oh, you ran in somebody else's cleats."
So you ran in your shoes at the combine, is what you're saying?
And even let's go back before that. I honestly showed up to the combine without any cleats because I wasn't going to do anything.
Right.
But all the reporters kept on talking all this shit, talking about I couldn't run, and I was like, okay. I'm like, all right. I've been working down here with Tom Shaw all summer. I know what I'm running. Let me go show y'all. At 240.
And what'd you run again in your 40?
4.35.
That is a stupid number. That is a stupid number. And so who was the quarterback who you gave the cleats to? Do you remember that, or you don't remember that?
Oh, I feel I know. I feel like I need to go. Maybe it's Eastern Carolina, maybe.
It was Garrard. Was it David Garrard? Is that who that was? I think it might have been. So definitely you did not. Whoever it was definitely didn't run a 4.35 in the shoes. It's not the shoes. It was the guy in the shoes.
It wasn't the shoes.
Calvin, you take care of yourself. You be well, okay?
You too, Riz. Good to talk to you.
The one and only Pro Football Hall of Famer, Calvin Johnson. Check out his football life tomorrow night, NFL Network, 9 Eastern Time. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.